All aboard, guys.
So we're going to be talking about the phenomenon that is Passengers.
And we're drinking some afternoon tea.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
Neither of us have seen this movie.
I read the script, and from what I've seen, they haven't made a lot of changes, so I didn't really want to subject myself to that.
Yeah. I was actually interested in it from the trailer, and then what has turned out to be a common experience for many women, once the plot twist of the movie was sort of spoiled by the reviews, I lost all interest in seeing it.
It, purports to be basically pretty people in space, right?
Mhm.
And then you find out, spoiler, not so much spoiler, it's about a guy who wakes up alone on a spaceship, and then at the end of the first act decides he's gonna die if he has to be alone for the rest of his life. So he wakes up a beautiful girl he's slowly been falling in love with, and she will never be able to go back into stasis. So he's condemning her to the rest of her life with him on the spaceship. That's real creepy.
So it turns out that my experience is something that happened to a lot of women.
And the movie's not doing that great. Its reported operating budget was like $110 million.
And it's made about half that in 2 weeks. So we're not really going to talk about the movie itself so much.
Because we haven't seen it, so that's not fair.
Twitter user named Abigail Nussbaum wrote a tweet rant that went viral talking about how women are the engine that drives movies. And so when women decide sort of en masse, and this was not, I didn't talk to other women and decide not to see this movie. I decided it on my own, and so many women did that too. And that is what's making this movie fail.
It's not crazy that this is a correlation here. What is crazy is that if this is a correlation, it's not actually being taken into account by the people who make these movies, who presumably want money back.
Women have had more purchasing authority and power than men for decades, since the 50s. There's that whole old saw that men make the money and women spend it.
Women have been in charge of balancing household accounts for a really long time.
And allocating money to specific companies, brands, etc. Women are the ones who make the spending decisions of the household.
That's why they're called soap operas.
Yeah. So this is not a new phenomenon, and it's not a new phenomenon that women go to the movies more than men. It's really established. And so the problem here is the disconnect between the movies getting made and the audience for those movies.
What's really interesting about Passengers, though, is when I first read it, it was pitched as a space romance. I think the writer wanted to write a dramatic romance that had these big sci-fi elements. Something that might, in fact, appeal to women, and yet it appears as though no women were consulted in writing the film or asked if maybe this was the creepiest thing they've ever seen.
It's not that no men think that it's creepy.
No, many men think that. Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
That this is just as creepy as women do. My husband, having heard nothing about the content of this movie, went to see it. And his summation when he came out of the movie was that it's the movie that someone would make if they thought Vertigo was a romance.
Even Alfred Hitchcock didn't think Vertigo was a romance. And he was Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo.
It's just that
the director didn't.
And the writer didn't. And the producers didn't. And yeah, so the movie got made.
After reading the script, a teacher was like, well, they did cast Chris Pratt as this guy, so maybe it'll work. It didn't work. This just leads us to how does this stuff keep happening? If women are a huge buying power in film and television and allocation of household funds, how do we keep getting people that are so vocally misogynistic making things? How does Stephen Moffat keep happening? I don't trust it. I don't trust that I'm going to have a fun time when I'm watching that.
Yeah.
From somebody who said that women are only husband hunters. I don't want to watch that. And I'm married.
This is this problem has two solutions, and we need them both. We need more women and people of color in the decision-making positions. And we need the white men who are in the decision-making positions to figure their shit out, to read a script like Passengers and come away with the understanding that this is not going to make them money.
That there are some serious problems with the script that probably could have been fixed.
Katie and I came up with at least half a dozen better ways to make Passengers. Off the top of our heads.
Just to fix that one problem.
It's not hard.
We cannot read Elect Supply with an Army this week because there's only one female character in Passengers. Galen Hurd, Amy Pascal, and Kathleen Kennedy all have a ton of power already. Ladies, I get it. Like, when you're in that position, sticking out your neck for another woman, if you're the woman hiring the woman, be the man hiring the woman. Many more women. Join us next week as we talk about the comics phenomenon Saga, anarchic textbook / romance novel.
Hidden in a romance novel.
Hidden in a romance novel. If you had fun here today, please subscribe and share this to people that you think might like it too. We like pals.
And comment.
Hey, Simone.
I
What's up?
feel like we're the worst YouTubers because we never ask for people to do that.
But I really like you guys a lot.
We love every comment. Thank you.
The nice ones.
We block the mean ones.
Yeah.